Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Jillian and I channel the Akashic Records. So today I'm going to be doing a November energy update. So I'm going to go through each week of November and see what is coming up. And yeah, if you like this video, please like, comment, subscribe, and let me know what you think in the comments. So without further ado, we're going to start by going into the Akashic Records. To access the Akashic Records, I say a prayer which allows me to raise my vibration up into the records. The Akashic Records are a multi-dimensional space which hold all of the information about creation. So everything that has been created from the beginning of time to the end of time. All right, let's go. I feel very excited about this today. Mother God, help me to open my heart. Protect me and guide me away from any fears or resistance. Allow me to channel the truth as it is revealed for our highest good and the highest good of all. Help me to surrender to truth and allow it to flow through me unhindered. I now request access to the Akashic Records of the Collective. Help me to know the Collective in the light of the Akashic Records, to see the Collective through the eyes of the Lords of the Records, and enable me to share the wisdom and compassion that the masters, teachers, and loved ones of the Collective have for it. The Akashic Records are now open. Namaste. Okay, so I feel two major timelines happening in November. So you might be on one timeline, you might be on the other, you might be dancing a little bit between the two. So the first timeline that is coming through is a major ego death. So essentially anything that cannot come with you into 2026 for your highest good is going to be brought up for processing, release, etc. through this month. Depending where you're at on your journey and how much inner work you've already kind of done and how much of the emotional release you've already done, this could be a more easeful process, or this could be quite a challenging emotional month for you. There is a large recalibration happening within our energies, which means our physical bodies are really feeling it at this time in different ways, because a lot of the old DNA, it's as Earth sort of rebirths herself into this next timeline, which is really taking off in 2026. There's a lot of old DNA in those of us who are really being called to be light workers, called to step into our purpose, called to step into our power. There's a lot of this old DNA that is dying away. So our physical bodies are going through a death in a sense, but also a rebirth phase where it might feel like things have kind of slowed or paused a little bit in the first few weeks of November, because our bodies need time to adjust to this new information and these new frequencies that are coming in, as well as if you are someone who has pieces of your ego and your mental space that aren't quite up to, let's say, where they want to be for 2026, you might really be feeling it at this time. So that is kind of two of the big timelines. You're either really feeling a physical death, so to speak, or you are feeling like old beliefs, old ideas, old ego attachments, ego stories really coming up for release. Now, once again, depending on how much work you've done this year, it really is going to depend on these last couple months. If you've been doing the work, grinding, all of this stuff, you've already gone through a lot of the lessons that you've needed to go through. So you'll sort of have this higher awareness as you go through the month of like, okay, yeah, it's hard, it's challenging, it's tiresome, but I can feel already through my body that this next timeline is coming and that it's going to be a huge upgrade. So you've cleared out the physical and the emotional and the mental stuff so you can already actually feel into and tap into what is coming. So it's like your spirit and your higher self energies are already sort of there and feeling it, but your body is catching up and you're okay with it. You're sort of surrendering to it, relaxing into it, because you can already feel through your body what's coming next. Now, if you can't already feel it, that is where it's going to get tiresome. And that is sort of the other timeline where you can't see the future yet, you can't feel the future yet, and it feels more heavy, it feels more maybe depressing, it feels more emotional, because you need to clear that space so that you can get into that space of really tuning into the energies and your body. So you might be feeling totally disconnected from your higher self and guides and like, oh my gosh, this is so hard and challenging. Or you might be feeling connected to your guides. It's still hard and challenging, but you're not as attached to that because you know what's coming next. It is sort of like a pause, a recalibration, absolutely, is what we're feeling into with these first couple weeks of November. Now, it's kind of on these same two timelines. The winter can symbolize different things. For a lot of us, the fall and the winter is that shedding energy, and even that hibernating energy, that slowing down, that more going inward and not being so outwardly expressed, because a lot of your energy is really going in now to do that work throughout these next coming months. Now, if you have been on this journey for some time, maybe you've already done a lot of that emotional and mental and physical work, then this winter is actually going to be a really I'm just feeling like a glowing ball of energy coming from the heart chakra. So like this winter is going to be, we're bringing the energy inward, but we're in that creation process of building what is coming through in 2026, building what is coming next. So you might be tending to yourself in these winter months and really nurturing, taking care, surrendering, the dark night of the soul. You might be feeling those sort of energies, which doesn't mean you're behind. It's just where your soul is at on the journey. Or you might also be going inward, but this time your energy is kind of being built up, stored up to be expressed outwardly in a bigger way. So you're stepping more into that service space. You have done the work in your physical body so that you can show up in the outer world with your communities, with your people, in a way that is much more in alignment than ever before. Yes, this is what I'm really feeling for this month. Now, let's talk about people who, that's kind of talking more about of the light workers, the people who are dedicated to their purpose, to their passion, to their missions, people who are know that they are to be of service, people who are really dedicated to that authentic path. If you're someone who's maybe just getting started on the journey or just starting to wake up to these sorts of things, there's going to be a lot of activations happening. So a lot of synchronistic events, a lot of sort of like letting you know there's more out there. There's a lot of connection coming in from the higher realms in this time. Because Earth herself is moving into this higher timeline, there's going to be more synchronistic events, more aha moments, more messages from your team and from your guides if you allow yourself to be open to this, more sort of little tidbits and like indications of what's to come next for you, because we are also in a period of mass awakening right now. So a lot of people who, if you've been doing the work for a long time, then you might be on that, more higher timeline. If you're in the middle of the work and you've been doing it for a long time, but maybe there's some pieces that have been stuck behind, or there's some pieces that really need elevating, or there's parts that have maybe been missed or coming back to release those things, then you're going to be more in that middle timeline. And there's also a timeline where people are just starting to wake up, connect in more with their higher selves. And for them, it's a really exciting time. There is a lot of excitement in the air regardless of whether you can feel it or not, it is there. So it is your choice to tap into that excitement, to choose to trust, even if if you don't feel the trust, you can like put that out there to your guide, say, hey, I want to trust, give me signs that I can trust. And then for some people, those who are just starting to wake up, there is also like a lot of events happening that are like sparking them on their spiritual journey. So there's a lot of your guides are really trying to communicate with you right now in this moment as well. I was gonna make this a separate video, but I think I'm gonna go into it right now just because I'm curious. So that 31 Atlas, that glowing blue ball of light of cosmic dust and energy that is passing by the planet. Now, are there interdimensional beings on this comet? Yes and no. Okay, so what does that mean? Okay, so this comet has been sent by higher dimensional intergalactic beings. This comet is being commandeered, is being guided and directed by these beings. There are sort of beings coming and going from it. So there's not necessarily like a set crew that is always on the comet. They're sort of like taking shifts. As it passes through different galaxies, because right now Earth herself is expanding to be part of more of this larger collective. She really is that comet couldn't have come by otherwise if she wasn't in the frequency and the vibration to be able to handle the energy that is coming from it, because it is so old. It is like billions of years old. It is really waking up a lot of that ancestral DNA in us, that deeper energy, that like even deeper than generational. Like really like to our core soul essence energy. Yes. Okay. And so once again, depending where you're at on your own path is how you're going to be experiencing these energies, but there is a huge activation. I thought so, and it's nice to have that confirmation. There is a huge activation of this energy. So just like one person vibrating at the frequency of love can impact 750,000 people around them just by vibrating at that frequency, this comet is like billions of years old, reminding us of our soul essence, reminding us of our truth, reminding us who we really are. So as it passes by our planet, it is activating that in Earth, and therefore activating that in each of us as well. It's also purposely like kind of throwing off what we've previously believed. It is meant to be a paradigm shifter for, you know, those in the scientific community, those in the astronomy community, it's not like other comets that we have observed. And so it's putting a lot of new questions into people's minds. And as we know, when you ask a question, it is answered. So as more and more people are asking these questions, then that gives the opportunity for more and more of those questions to be answered. So don't be afraid to ask the questions this month. If you're not in a space of trusting, ask. Like, say, show me how to trust. Prove to me I can trust. And then there comes a moment of detaching, releasing control, relaxing into whatever is being brought your way. Some people have already been doing this deep work, so the trusting is a little bit easier, and some of us don't really fully trust yet. And so we have to ask these questions. Okay, show me what I'm capable of. Show me my path. Show me my purpose. Show me what needs to be taken away from my life. Show me what I need to add to my life. Like, ask questions. Start asking more questions. Ask questions to your guides. Ask questions out loud. Write questions in your journal. What are the questions that you have that you would like answers to? Because as soon as you ask, it starts being given. If you really want to be on that highest timeline, ask. Show me the ways I can be on that highest timeline. If you want a more gentle path, if you want to take it a little slower, okay, ask for it. Don't be afraid to ask. Ask for what you need. Ask for what you want. Okay? You can sit back and surrender, but if you're not asking and putting it out there, then you're not fully in your truth and your voice. People, you know, it's not a time to be passive per se, but redefining what it means to be active, setting those intentions, putting that information out there, paying attention to what's going on in your life. This is really a time of expansion that is happening on our planet. There are people on all different parts of their path going through this expansion in their own ways, but really we can see that 2026, there's going to be even bigger shifts in the collective, in how we connect with that comet passing by is even changing paradigms for the collective, which is amazing, but also within ourselves. And there are going to be people who are just waking up on their journey. And if you're one of those people, pay attention to the signs, pay attention to what's being brought to you. There are going to be people who have been doing the work, and they just have a few pieces that need to kind of catch up to where their spirit and soul is at. And then there are those of us who have been doing the work as well and have already established that trust. If you have established that trust, this time is going to be a lot easier for you. If you haven't established the trust yet, you're going to be shown through these next few months how to trust. You're going to be put in a place where you need to trust. And those people who are just waking up, it's like, woohoo, brand new open world. It feels very exciting, open, butterflies. But essentially, it's a big soul activation. It's a remembrance of our soul that is happening through these next few weeks and over the winter. And paying attention to if you're being called inward to tend to yourself, or if you're being called inward to create for what you're going to be sharing with the world. Yes. Amazing. All right. Thank you, masters, teachers, and loved ones, for your love and compassion. Thank you, lords of the Akashic Records, for your point of view. Thank you, Mother God, for coming to my aid. The records are now closed. Amen. The records are now closed. Amen. The records are now closed. Amen.